icer. But we live and we learn. I want to start doing a pottery class, you know. I found some near where we live and I was like, brilliant. I'm gonna see if they've got some openings. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited actually. Just fill those in nicely. I feel like I'm spackling a wall. Is that the word for it? Spackling? It doesn't look terrible. Do you know what? I'm not going to be making my own wedding cake. I don't even think we're going to have a wedding cake. So I don't think it really matters how badly this turns out because it's not a trial run or anything. It's just me having a bloomin' great afternoon, making some yummy food and talking to my pals. We're going to start stacking and we're going to move on to my final question. Part of me, very excited to chat about. The other part of me, nervous that some of you are going to zone out entirely here and this is not your thing. Just stick around for the cake making and ignore what I'm chatting about if this is not your thing. We're going to talk a little bit about finance. I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible, but I do like to talk, so I'll try my best. Am I meant to put a bit of this down for it? I'm actually not too sure. I'm just going to dollop it on there and hope for the best. And yes, I am going to leave that cake board on there. Nothing I can do about it now. How on earth do I get this down? I'll take it. I'm going to pipe around the bottom because apparently that's what you do. And then we're going to try and decorate a little bit. Amber, hi Amber if you're watching, asked for me to talk just a little bit about investing. I'm going to start by saying not a financial advisor, and please look into everything that I say yourself before taking any next steps. That's what I want to make very, very clear before I go any further. But I'm talking about investing long term. Okay, I'm not talking about day trading or swing trading or investing in crypto, getting a bump in the market and pulling it out in 2 weeks' time. What I'm talking about is investing long term, putting your money into an ETF which historically has shown and given good results and leaving it there for the next 40 to 50 years until you retire. That's what I'm talking about. So please do not get it confused. Please do not think that I'm talking about, you know, making a quick buck. Investing long term is not about making a quick buck. It's literally about making sure that your money is, if anything, a bit safer than what they'd like you to believe with banks. I think we've been let down a lot with what they teach us at school. And what they don't teach about is finance, which I feel should be taught in school, because guess what? Everyone, once they leave school and once they get a job, needs to deal with finance. It's not good. It's not a good cake. I'm going to change the head of this, and I think we're going to have to try and cover this as much as we can in some frosting. Okay, so you may have heard about something called inflation, and inflation goes up by, I think it's something like approximately 3 to 5% every year. And that basically means the price of goods and services increases roughly 3 to 5% per year. So everything is sort of relative, sort of. I think I've got this. Oh my goodness, I don't know how this is happening. I seem to have piped pretty well. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm pretty happy with that. So my dad said that at one point he was paying, and I could be getting these figures wrong, but I'm pretty sure he said he was paying £16 rent. But his wage at that time was 30. So to us, £16 is nothing, because times have changed, money has changed, inflation has happened, things have increased. But to him, it was like, okay, well that's half my wage. So to someone nowadays who's making, say, £2,000 a month, half of their wage is £1,000. And that, again, is a decent amount to pay for rent. So everything kind of is relative. So let's say you put £10,000 in your bank to save, and assuming you don't add to it or take away from it, in 40 years, your bank will say £10,000, it won't have changed. But the problem is the value of that £10,000 will be drastically different because the cost of everything will have gone up. So when people put money into savings into the bank, it's amazing if you've got savings, and that's really, really great. But I think people don't realise that that £10,000 that seems like a lot now won't be so much when you want to use it in the future. And that's why people invest. I don't know whether to do some like little swirls or something. Like, I'm just going to do some of these, I think. I don't even know what these are. Do you know what? It's not freaking bad. It's not terrible. I don't hate it. If you invest your money into the stock market, and if you invest wisely, something like the S&P 500, that has historically, through all of the data that they've got, gone up by roughly like 10% every year. which means if you put your money into an ETF and that goes up by